Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you to this special session on Integrated Business Solutions paper organized by Board of Studies Academic. Today, we will explore key strategic insights into the hotel and hospitality industry, one of the most dynamic and competitive sector, specifically in India. This industry goes far beyond providing accommodation. It is about delivering experience, building customer trust, and sustaining profitability in rapidly growing environment and economy. Globally, this industry is valued over $1 trillion, and India stands out one of the fastest growing market. Rising middle class incomes, the growth of domestic tourism, and the boom in business travel have accelerated this expansion. What makes the current phase particularly fascinating in the strategic shift towards low cost differentiation strategy where business seeks to balance affordability with superior guest experience instead of competing purely on price. Many hotels brands are focusing on offering value of experience, delivering smart, comfortable, and technology enabled stay at affordable rates. This is achieved through lean operating models, digital transformation, and customer centric innovation. It's a strategy that combines cost leadership and service delivery, creating a sustainable competitive edge. There are three major highlights of this transformation. First is digitalization. From online bookings and dynamic pricing through AI driven models, technology now drives both efficiency and differentiation. Low cost operators are use digital tools for analyze for analyzing energy management and demand forecasting. Here word demand forecasting is very important. They normally use technology to forecast demand. Okay. Second is sustainability. Even in the budget and mid range segments, hotels are adopting sustainable practice such as energy efficient lighting, local sourcing, and water conservation. Sustainability has evolved from being a luxury concept to a strategic value proposition. Okay, appealing a eco conscious travels who seeks both affordability and responsibility. Third, asset light and scalable models, franchising, management contracts, and shared ownership models allow hotels to grow rapidly without heavy capital expenditure. This asset light approach aligns perfectly with a low cost differentiation strategy, ensuring agility, higher returns, and reduced operational risk. To illustrate how strategy links with performance, many leading hospitality firms now measure success through multi-dimensional performance framework rather than purely financial outcomes. In other words, they consider non-financial factors also while deciding or while taking any decision. Okay, here performance evaluation covers financial efficiency, customer value, operational excellence, and people and culture. Finance normally involve cost optimization, profitability, cash flow management, etc. Customer value means guest satisfaction, repeat business, and brand loyalty. Operational excellence relates with compliances and innovation, while people and culture is related with employee productivity. This approach ensures the cost reduction efforts never get compromise quality or service, a crucial balance. Okay, the hospitality sector, however, faces lot of ongoing challenges: rising real estate cost, fluctuating demand, regulatory compliances, and online commissions. We have to pay online commission, and which narrow down our profit margins. Yet, low cost differentiation offers a pathway to resilience, focusing on value creation through efficiency, innovation, and customer delight rather than luxury or heavy investment. At the same time, opportunities continue to expand. Government initiative to promote tourism and regional connectivity, along with the rise of hybrid work, staycations, and wellness travels. In our earlier sessions, we examined sectors like fast fashion, FMCG, logistics, understanding how strategy and compliances intersect with each other. The hospitality industry offers yet another practical context with strategic cost management and value creation through. Today, we are going to discuss two case studies drawn from our case study digest. They include a diverse range of professional and strategic dimensions, including Clause 7 of Part 1 of Second Schedule of Chartered Accountants Act, Essay 240, the auditor's responsibility relating to fraud in an audit financial statements, Rule 91 of the Companies Accounts Rules, Regulation 18(1)(d) of SEBI LODR regulations, performance measurement through ROI and residual income, performance measurement through ROI and uh, residual income, competitive advantage, Section 185 of the Companies Act, as well as supply chain management. Together, these cases integrate regulatory, ethical, financial, and strategic perspective, reflecting multidisciplinary nature of this paper. We are privileged to welcome CA Anshul Agarwal from V. Singhi and Associates, a highly respected chartered accountant, to today's session. He has graciously accepted our invitation to share his expertise. His insights will enable us to connect academic learning with practical experience in this specific sector. With this, let us commence today's session and explore the case in detail. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deepak ji, for the warm introduction and also sharing a lot of insights in hospitality industry. So maybe I was wondering whether the session is to be taken by me or, but you have paved a very good introductory background about hospitality industry. So maybe I think we can interact with the students also. Yes, I would like to make the session more interactive,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and our young minds would also be able to speak more. That would help them in a lot of ways. So, how many of you are about to appear CA final exams in this January term?
Sir, good evening, sir. My name is Swaminathan. I am writing in Jan 2026, sir.
2026. Great. Uh, Sanjay, Chitra, Bhavik, Manish, Rajiva, Mega, Dev, Dipanshi, May 26. Okay. January 2026. Sanjay in May 2026. So basically, in the next term or the immediately or the further term. So maybe within a year. So Is anyone aware about hospitality industry? Done any audit or tax kind of work, or maybe any kind of GST return filing, or any advisory internal audit for any hospitality sector from our this group of students? No, sir. Okay, Mega has mentioned as no. Okay, Manish has already cleared the second group. Uh, so we must acknowledge him. Though he has cleared already this paper, he has been kind enough to attend this session. I think we should hear from you also, listen from you also. How was your experience overall on this term? Because I qualified as chartered accountant in the year 2017. So at that point of time, we were not having this open kind of open book and plus case studies and all. Uh, though I when cleared CS finals in 2015, the open book concept was just introduced at that point of time. So open book people, students think that, or maybe chartered accountants now think that it's kind of easy and बुक ही तो लेके जाना है, ट्रॉली भर भर के लेके जाएंगे और पास हो जाएंगे. But I find that many of our articles also in our office, they struggle in clearing this paper. So we should also thank the institute that the domain knowledge of chartered accountants, role of chartered accountants in today's space is not only limited to auditing, taxation, and GST, but our Narendra Modi ji, PM, has also invited chartered accountants to think beyond the horizon, think about consulting, management consulting, and all. So I feel this kind of papers and the case studies which institute has put up on its website is doing a fabulous job. So anyone who has prior experience of hospitality sector, or can anyone please come on the audio or video and tell about any maybe common knowledge about hospitality sector also? Because understanding a sector, visualizing a sector is very important. Yes. So we are not writing a case study now, but we are not solving a case study, but we have a lot of time, maybe for the next 3 hours. So I would like to take the things very practically so that the hospitality sector is remembered for a quite longer period of time. So हॉस्पिटलिटी सेक्टर से कि आप लोग को हॉस्पिटल समझ में आता है या और कुछ समझ में आता है? Because when I was a student, when I heard for the first time, or maybe for the first few times when I heard about hospitality sector, so I started wondering that ये तो hospitals का बात हो रहा है ना क्या है? Okay, thank you, Mega. So I must say that our students are nowadays more brighter than the earlier chartered accountants. So yes, hospitality sector is more related to hotel industry. And how many of you are fond of traveling here? Okay, I think majority of us are maybe fond of traveling. Yes, so when we go to travel for a different places, be it religious, be it medical purpose, be it educational purpose, or be it recreation with family, friends, or maybe wedding. Nowadays, a lot of conferences happening even by our institute. Every day there is a conference in every nook and corner of the India. So hotels are being used. And पहले क्या होता था, maybe 10 years 15 years back, or maybe pre-COVID area, we used to plan a long time back for going for any holiday trip, or for maybe going for a office trip as well. But nowadays the dynamics have changed. Sitting today, maybe Friday evening, Saturday Sunday could be a potential vacation, though it's at Diwali time. But every weekend, I say, is a potential vacation. Yes, people did not think about taking long leaves, maybe Friday taking a leave and Saturday Sunday, and they can come back to the workplace on Monday morning. So 3 days time spent would be a very interesting thing for people nowadays. So hospitality sector, I feel it has boomed a lot in the last 4 years. Though hospitality was in a total loss during the COVID period. Even if you see any balance sheets of any hospitality industry for the financial year 2021 and 21-22, it was drastically it. The losses were more than the revenue, and but now God has been kind enough so that we are back to post COVID normal, is more than normal. We travel a lot, even for business travel, for office travel, and for recreation, for religious purposes. So as we are traveling, then we need some place to stay, some place to celebrate as well. So hospitality sector is gaining a lot of importance nowadays. And can any one of us name a few hospitality companies, hotels, which have got recently listed in the stock markets? I believe uh, our students are also nowadays having demat accounts, investing in IPOs, doing a bit of trading. Though I don't advise trading on this student life, but I'm quite confident that our students also have been trading in a few stocks. So, can you tell me a few hospitality stocks before we come down to the real case study? Yeah, ITC Hotels, Babik has mentioned. So, ITC Hotels just got demerged from its ITC Limited and was listed in January 2025, having more than, I think, 50 hotels and more than 5,000 room keys across India, a lot of brands, a few more.
Sir, Lemon Tree Hotels.
Yeah, Lemon Tree is also one of the listed stocks. So, has anyone gone through the balance sheet of these hospitality hotels, hotel companies?
I have seen ITC Hotels, sir.
Very good. ITC hotels. So, you have gone through the annual report, typically the balance sheet and the profit and loss account.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So, maybe let's visualize what could be the revenue components for a hotel company. Maybe for ITC hotels, or maybe for Hyatt or Lemon Tree, what could be the components of revenue? I find that students are putting up direct messages to my chat. I request if it can be put in the group itself, then other who are not responding or others who are sitting silent also feel motivated to do this, and with the exchange of knowledge we all get benefited out of it. Yes, so room booking is the number one major significant part of revenue for a hotel. So with the room booking comes a lot of events, like meetings, like wedding season, now starting in November, first week of November till mid of December, and a lot of exhibitions happening, a lot of conferences happening. Nowadays, Diwali function, nowadays Rotary meetings, nowadays Lion meeting, a lot of offsites, a lot of get-togethers also contribute to a lot of largest part of the revenue for a hotel company. So when people spend in the stay in the hotel, so there is another revenue also coming up for the hospital sector, that is called food and beverages. So basically restaurant, but the typical or maybe the technical term used by the hotel companies is food and beverages. So that is shortly called F&B also. And there are a few minor operating revenues also, like spa
मेरे को
services,
ना थोड़ा काम करने जाना है अपनी स्ट्रीट पे।
laundry services.
अगर आप यहीं पे बैठे हो क्या?
हाँ यहीं बैठे हैं।
अगर ये बाई चांस मुझे
Also
बुलाएंगे कुछ
contribute to
तो मुझे
the
बुला लोगे?
revenue of a hotel
है
company.
मेरे नंबर, मैं अपना नंबर बताऊं मुझे आप
7518
हैं
7518
75
18 08
08
35.
So as someone mentioned, correctly mentioned, ITC hotels got listed this year. In fact, demerged from its main flagship company. So Hotelira was also one which got listed this year only, 4 5 months back. Juniper Hotels from Bombay, Grand Hyatt Mumbai also got listed in the year 2024. The APJ hotels, basically eastern part of the India, having Park Hotel Park also got listed last year. So I think there are about 8 or 10 hotel companies that have got listed in the last couple of years. So the balance sheets, the annual reports of those companies are easily available on the website of stock exchanges. I'll also take through a couple of balance sheets, couple of annual reports, and try to explain how the balance sheets are to be analyzed, how the balance sheets are to be read in a practical sense, how the cash flow statement is to be seen from an investor point of view. So apart from the case studies which have been allotted, I'll also be happy to talk more on those aspects so that when you uh, clear your CA finals and when you look for maybe placement opportunities or thinking for a own practice, then it will be a good beneficial element for our students. I hope our students agree to that, or should I remain restricted myself to the case studies only available on the website? Okay, Mega has mentioned that please show those elements as well. So since I am on the ICAI forum, so let me first put on the case study. Let me share on the case study, and so that we'll simultaneously also discuss on the various practical aspects related to the case study and hope case study number 14 is visible on the screen. Yes, can someone please confirm?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So where this case study is already known to you that this should be taken up today evening.
Yes, sir. We have case study digest volume 1 and volume 2 is there. Both are released already. It is from the volume 2.
Okay, and were you aware that I would be taking this case study number 14 and 15 today evening? No, sir. Okay. So that means I'll also take you through the dynamics of the case study because explaining the matter is very, very important. So I guess 4 hours are allowed for this paper, yes?
Yes, sir. 4 hours, sir.
4 hours. So what do you expect to do when you receive the question paper?
Sir, totally 5 questions will be there. We have to answer for 4 questions, sir, out of 5 questions. For each question there will be the my MCQ will be there, 5 questions, 5 MCQ, each will get 2 mark, 10 marks. So 40 mark will be the MCQ will be there, remaining will be the descriptive questions, sir.
Okay. And you are allowed to open the book and all. Yes.
Yes, we can carry the books. Some people carry the trolley also. They will bringing their some assistance also will be provided from their supportive people. They bring up to the room.
Yeah. And I feel that the question paper basically is a mix and match of all the subject contents of financial reporting, auditing, law, cost, AFM, taxes, both direct and indirect tax. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It include also including costing and also company law also is included in it.
Okay. So, what do you feel like whether the books really help for solving these case studies, or what is the most important factor that helps in?
Actually, the book is not really helping, sir. Actually, I attended last times in September 2025. First time I attempted. But
Okay,
the thing is that without reading and understanding the concept, even the book, open book, it is not useful actually. The thing is that keep on searching, the time is going out. Simply. Unless otherwise we know the concept, we cannot go and search where it is. But it is useful for me. I found 2 questions answers. But the rest of it, I could not find it.
understood. Yes. So, the most important thing is clarity, concept clarity, and understanding the case study. Yes. So maybe when we are in practice also, our clients come up with a lot of problems. Our team members come with problems, but until and unless we are able to identify what is the problem really, then we will not be able to solve those case studies or help our clients. Correct. So someone has mentioned that open book is really hard as it is really time consuming, and if we do not know what to do, what is to be written. Yes. So before moving to the answers, my honest request to our students would be studying the case study and also making a few notes. Maybe if I'm allowed to make some notes on this Zoom platform, I'll be able to show how to make notes in brief. Sorry, I'm not been able to. Let me find out if I can. Yes, I think I can make a few notes over here now. The screen is visible, correct? So I think we can all of us see case study number 14 here on the screen.
Sir, font size should be increasing.
Okay, I'm doing. How is it now? Hope the font size is good visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
yes,
Visible, sir. A limited.
yes. So here, let me take through the facts of the case study first, okay, and then we'll move down to the answers and all. And even our ICAI has given flow charts and all to understand. So but अपना हाथ से बनाया हुआ का मजा अलग ही होता है, because those flow charts and all are not available during the exam time. So those flow charts have been given in the ICAI study mat, so that we students, when we write the paper during exam time in nowadays in January and May and September, we also build such kind of flow charts or a rough kind of diagram, so that when we are towards the end of the case study, we still remember the beginning of the case study and do not forget what is going on. Yes, because I think the case study of more than 4 or 5 pages. If not make rough notes or running notes, then we tend to forget, because it's a normal human mind. Yes. I would again once request our students, if you can please come on audio, then maybe I would also feel that yes, I am not alone on the office and I have some students interacting with me live. Okay, so now let's start on. So here you can see that A Limited is a hospitality company, so basically a hotel company, and has a subsidiary called B Limited, which is specializing in tourism sector. So A Limited is a company which is having a subsidiary. So subsidiary, we do not know as of now whether it is a wholly owned subsidiary or a partly owned subsidiary, but since we come from a CA background, the moment we listen about the word subsidiary, we feel that it is holding more than 50%, correct? Yes.
Yes, sir.
And this B Limited is into tourism sector and A is into hospitality sector. So what is the difference between now, maybe a practical example between hospitality and tourism? Can someone please mention?
Both are customer centric, sir.
Both are?
Customer related.
Yeah, both are absolutely customer related. But what could be the difference? Or maybe if anyone can give a practical example. So let me give an example. Yes, Mega is partially correct. So A Limited is basically more related to accommodation, food and beverages, and overall guest experience. So that includes hotel, resorts, restaurants, cafes, event planning and catering services. Yes. And
Yes.
maybe tourism could be including travel agencies, tour operators. Someone was mentioning airlines, nowadays cruise lines, nowadays uh, ropeways also, and basically fun making activities. So that when you have gone for a holiday, then first you stay in the hotel and maybe in the daytime or morning evening you roam around. That is tourism sector. So basically we can have a lot of cultural activities, adventure, and promoting a destination. Like say suppose if you happen to be in Kerala for a December weekend, and the property where someone is staying, the resort could be a classic example of hospitality sector, and there could be a lot of other activities going on, like maybe water park or maybe dry park and all. So those could be termed as tourism sector. So, is there any interdependence between tourism and hospitality sector?
Yes, sir. Obviously, both are interdependent. See, without travel, see from one place to another place, they have to travel and they have to stay in the hotel. It is without travel, there is no hotel. Hotel is there. See, within the same place, very rare people only stay there in the hotel. From the other places only, they will come here for tourism purpose or business purpose. They will travel, then stay at the hotel.
Yes, absolutely, and both are interdependent. Like say, suppose there are a lot of hotels, but nothing to be done around. Yes, so those hotels would not sustain. They would not get that business. Say, suppose there is a hotel which is not connected, not easily connected to airport, and there are a lot of other hotels which are easily in the radius of airport. So, would people prefer the one which is near the airport and in a happening place, or the one which is in the mid of a desert and nothing to be done, maybe and just to have some uh, fun activities? You have to travel down to 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers. Like say suppose you happen to be in a Goa beach, so you would look for hotels in and around the beaches rather than staying 20 kilometers away from the beach.
Yes, sir. Obviously,
So near
Yes.
the
near to the Goa beach.
Yes. So the activities happening in Goa beach come under the tourism industry. Like there could be some tour operators, there could be some river rafting going on, there could be some boating activities going on, there could be some spa and all going on. So they come under tourism activities. So you can see a classic example between the interdependence of A Limited and B Limited, the holding and the subsidiary, and they contribute to each other. And maybe when they prepare consolidated financial statements of A Limited, then the financial performance of subsidiary B helps a lot in A Limited. So if A Limited is doing a good job, good business, naturally B Limited would also be doing a naturally good business. Now just see, I do not want to focus only on case study, but I want to focus on some practical aspects also. Say suppose the tourism activities which B Limited is doing in a particular area gets disrupted for a while. Do you think A Limited would be able to sustain its activities?
Yes, sir. It will sustain the activity because no other public transportation is there. There's example, train is there, flight is there, other mode of conveyance is there. But
Say suppose, hmm,
they cannot depend only on that particular subsidiary company.
yes, absolutely. So there could be a still sustainability going on, but it could be affected. Like say suppose there is a resort, so resort में rooms मिल रहे हैं, but वहाँ पे अभी activities नहीं हो रहे हैं, है ना? So why would guest prefer booking hotels in company A and then traveling to other group nearby resorts for fun activities and all? So that could be largely disrupted also. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
why the interdependency between hospitality and travel industry is very very important. So without hotels there is no travel, without travel there is no hotels. So as you can see, I talked about COVID times during financial year 21-22. So you can see that the almost all the hotel companies were making losses. They were not able to repay their debts, they were not able to pay their interest on time. So that's why they are very strategically important. So now you can see the words also being used in a strategic move to bolster its operational capabilities. So what has A Limited done is A Limited has purchased a new building, new property. Yes, property. From whom? From P Limited. And what is that property having? Installed office furniture and fixtures. And P Limited is a well-known construction company that has two divisions. One is commercial real estate and residential real estate. So what do you mean by commercial real estate and residential real estate, guys? Just to give you a visual example, maybe you have been to IT parks, yes? I see most of our students from southern region of the country. So wherever there is a IT park, so you will find within the park only, or maybe just adjacent to the park, there is also a residential building that has come up. Why is that required? So that people, officers working in the business complex also have a residential complex nearby, so that they need not spend much of the time in commuting. Maybe students from Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi would be able to correlate this. Time is money nowadays, and that needs to be saved. Hence, the combination of commercial real estate and residential real estate has to be very, very strategically thought about. So now you must be wondering that why I have been putting up a lot of examples and putting up a lot of unnecessary stuff while preparing this, while explaining this simple case study. So I'll tell you my thought process. I have been able to visualize. When I'm speaking to you, when I'm reading this para, I've been able to visualize a lot of such things which I have been seeing in my life. Yes. So what happens is that when you start visualizing, when you start thinking as a consultant, or maybe when you start thinking about the pictures, yes, like say suppose if someone says that I'm in the mid of an ocean and I'm about to fall on the ocean, yes, and if you are thinking about such scenario on your mind, on your eyes, then you will be definitely able to think about the solution also. But without feeling that problem, how would someone think about the solution? Yes, like if someone wants to swim and he or she doesn't go to the swimming pool, then will he be able to, or will she be able to learn swimming just looking on the YouTube? What do you say, guys?
No, sir. He has to jump into the swimming pool, then only he can able to learn.
Yes. So as someone mentioned that it's sometimes it's very difficult, also strange also to write answers on these case studies. So we have to start visualizing, yes. And when we read the case study, we have to give time and also break into lines. Like what we did was I completed one line, or maybe I completed one information. I tried to visualize amongst you, and then I moved to the next information, correct? So that is how the chain of information also gets linked up. So now we were on the commercial real estate and the residential real estate managed by manager 1 and manager 2. So usually what happens is in corporate world, maybe if you have seen in the large groups, what happens is if company 1 owns the property, that is not managed by that company itself. Why? Because to manage that property, that company might require a lot of manpower, a lot of infrastructure and all, which it itself does not want to do, because its core activity gets diluted. So what does it do is maybe it forms a joint venture, or maybe a kind of partnership, or maybe subcontracts the entire management activity to manager 1 and 2. Hope you are able to visualize, yes, or you are able to think. Like in a lot of our societies also where we live, the management is done by a maybe outsourced party, or maybe someone else. Like you can see a classic example like security agency. Is the security agency owned by the society, any residential society? No. the work is allocated to someone else. So what we learned on this paragraph was A Limited, our client, is into hospitality sector, and as a subsidiary B Limited, which is into tourism sector, and both are providing interconnected service and offerings to its customers. And there's a good news coming up. A Limited has purchased a new building with office furniture and fixtures from P Limited. And this P Limited is, I think, not within the group. Till now, we haven't been given information on this paragraph. So P Limited is a company having two divisions, that is real estate, commercial real estate, and residential real estate. The commercial real estate is managed by manager one, that is could be an outsider vendor, and this could be managed by manager two. Now, what has happened is, now could you see the second paragraph?
Yes, sir.
So after this, A Limited purchase of new building from B Limited makes a significant enhancement in its infrastructure. And yes, so A Limited has purchased this property and has been able to build up its infrastructure, and maybe with this infrastructure they would be able to give superior services in the hospitality sector. Yes. So guys, are you wondering that why a owned property can help a hotel to deliver more superior services rather than a rented property? So what happens is, in a owned property, you can do the renovation, the construction, and the investment as you feel. Yes. But on a rented property, you have to take certain prior approvals, and the investments also, maybe if backeted out, might not be having good payback periods and all. There could be some restrictions from landowners as well, and you would also not like to experiment the other properties and all, other owner properties and all. So, but since A Limited has purchased its own property, and I believe we all believe that with this own property, A Limited would be able to give its best kind of services, ensuring high quality service delivery and the modern kind of business. So you can see the word modern business mentioned here. So you can feel with this modern kind of business, you would be the hotel, the A Limited would be able to generate modern kind of revenue as well. So modern kind of revenue is basically nothing but a high premium revenue. So earlier, maybe pre-COVID, the hotel rooms at IDC and maybe Grand Hyatt or maybe any hotel like Sarai Star would be available at 8-10,000. But nowadays, you don't find hotel rooms, five-star hotel rooms below 20,000. Like in Ahmedabad, when the World Cup finals were announced, then you could see in the newspaper media reports that the room rates were up to 4.5 lakhs per night. Yes. So with the quality services, you can earn quality revenue as well. So now you can see that the case study itself says that there would be greater collaboration between A Limited and B Limited, where both entities can, with the help of mutual support and the resource, they would be able to manage operations, host client meetings, workshops, and corporate events. As I mentioned you earlier, nowadays hotels are also being booked. The banquet halls are being booked for workshops, client events. Have you participated in any of the recent uh, such gatherings in any hotel? As any one of? I believe you must have participated in some students' conference and all, which is usually in hotels or maybe in properties. As yes. So now the case study talks about P Limited, which says that P Limited is also a well-recognized player for a lot of clients, having good clients, excellent clients, and manager one managing the commercial real estate division, focusing on development and sale of office space and commercial complex. So what does division 1 of P Limited does is they provide real estate solutions and they provide office space, they build commercial space and sell it out to their clients, modern, functional and well equipped. So maybe you can imagine WeWork. So WeWork is also a good area, a good classic example of commercial space, commercial property. And the residential real estate is being managed by manager 2 that deals with housing projects. And my goodness, it has both high rise apartments to luxury villas, having a good society. So can you imagine on your eyes, can you visualize on your eyes, maybe in a movie or maybe in nearby society, or while traveling you must have seen such kind of properties, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so visualizing is very important so that when we start moving to the answers, we are able to use our creativity. So now what the case study says is, so one thing I'm also getting confused over here. So I would just like to give a suggestion. When you are reading the case studies in exam in question papers, I would want our students to give serial number to the paragraphs. Serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that it becomes easy to help you navigate through the paragraphs. So what does P Limited do is it delivers tailored. So what is tailored? Does it mean stitching of garments? Customized, very good. So customized real estate solutions. So customized means basically as per the requirements of the client, and it has suppliers like Q Limited, whose raw materials are very important and very crucial for the premium properties. So what could be the raw materials for a real estate company? It could be cement, it could be rod, it could be glass, tiles, marbles, bathwares, very good interior fittings, electrical appliances, lights, a lot of things. Yes, you could, if you are able to visualize a society, good society, then you would be able to remember that. Maybe I'll also mention glass facade for a commercial space. When you go to a business complex, you can see nowadays the walls are not made up of bricks, but they are made up of glasses, so that it looks attractive from outside. So now moving forward, what does it say is this relationship highlights the importance of a reliable supply chain in maintaining the quality and reliability of real estate developments. So P Limited is making a good choice, strategic choice of materials so that customers are well satisfied with their products, with their solutions. And the Q Limited, who was the Q Limited? Yes, nowadays even a solar are also embedded in the glass facade. So Q Limited is one of the suppliers and it is helping P Limited from whom our client A had purchased the property to maintain its reputation and excellence in the construction industry. So now again we can move on to the next paragraph. What does it say? It talks about now A Limited, yes. So we need to keep thinking what is the case study talking about so that we understand the case study very well. So this paragraph says that A Limited continues to grow and adapt to the changing dynamics. So see, A Limited is very smart. So A Limited is changing itself to the growing needs of the industry. Like say suppose maybe 5 years down the line, you were not having case studies, yes, in exams. But now ICAI has also well thought that since we chartered accountants need to be growing ahead in the consulting sector and our country needs us since we are the partners in building. So they thought of putting case studies in the CA final itself so that when we are coming in the market as chartered accountants, we do a lot of things for the society. That is how we adapted ourselves. Yes, 5 years down the line, we were not thinking about case studies, but nowadays we have started thinking about case studies. Yes. So this is how A Limited is also adapting itself to the changing dynamics of these industries and putting a lot of strategy by aligning its physical assets with its service goals. And maybe just to give an example, it must be taking care of its of the kids of the guest so that when kids are inside the property, then kids require small swimming pools, maybe small playing centers, and maybe a lot of things. So it is designing its physical infrastructure as per the requirements of the client. So that is how it is becoming a market leader. Yes. So when I talk about market leaders, hotel leaders in the country now, so I can think about ITC, I can think about Hotel Leela, I can think about Grand Overay and all. So maybe this A Limited also could be one of these hotels. So what is it saying is all these features of A Limited is not only helping A Limited but also helping the other market leaders to help for a sustainable growth and create a healthy competition. Yes. So what happens is like say suppose Tata brought out EV cars for the first time in market. Just giving an hypothetical example. So other automobile companies were also then interested or motivated to bring out a innovative EV car. Yes. If there would not have been any company bringing out EV, then no one would have been bringing EV. Yes. So जैसे CA finals में होते हैं ना, maybe I think I can use Hindi also in between so that to make it more interesting and all. So rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 आती है तो rank से पता पड़ती है कि हाँ मेरे को भी उतना ही मेहनत करना है ताकि मेरे को rank मिले. Though I am not in favor of ranks, I would say that being chartered accountant is more important, and if you are able to get rank, then it's icing on the cake. Okay, I'll speak purely in English only. So with this kind of background, what we have seen is they are having customers in place, they are having suppliers in place. Yes. So until unless you have a good raw materials, then you will not be able to have good quality finished goods also. So I think we must have out about garbage in, garbage out. So if your raw materials, if your vendors are not good, then your output or the quality solutions also get impaired. So the first and foremost thing which we need to understand is to have a excellent output. We need to have excellent input as well. Correct? So now there's a twist in the case study. So the case study says that a cashier of a Limited committed a fraud. Now, as soon as we heard about fraud, then our mind starts get working because we heard about fraud in section 447. We heard about fraud in SA 240. We heard about fraud in 143.12. So the word fraud is very important for us. We heard in Caro reporting. Others, where you have heard about fraud? Please mention a few. I could remember 4 or 5 things where we heard about fraud, where we write about fraud.
You rightly mentioned SA 240, 143, 12 is there, Caro is there.
And what could be other?
We need to report to central government if more than one.
So what is fraud? Fraud is a wrongful gain or a wrongful loss for anyone. Yes. So this cashier has committed a fraud. That means he has done a wrongful gain, and A Limited, who was the holding company of B Limited, has been put into a wrongful loss. So this wrongful gain and wrongful loss have been quoted in section 447 of the Companies Act, if you remember. So writing those in the case study, writing those in the answers will help you able to get good marks. Correct? So the cashier has committed a fraud by absconding with the company's fund. So it has taken away the fund and moved away. So nowadays, with the world of this digitalization, it is not only about the cash that has been absconding about. So maybe nowadays people do a lot of NEFT, RTGS transfers. Instead of transferring money to the vendor's account, they transfer to their own family relatives or own account, and then they must have moved away also. Yes, Mega is absolutely correct. So it is about misappropriating of assets. Correct. Now, the chief accountant of A Limited was not aware of this frauds going on. Until and unless this audit got completed. So maybe few of us were doing this internal audit or statutory audit and brought to the attention of the chief accountant that your cashier has done this malified activities in the books. Yes? No. But there's a twist. It says that the audit conducted in a non-focused and all opposite manner failed to detect the fraud, which was only discovered by the chief accountant post audit. So while we are reading the case studies, it is very important that sitting in the examination hall, we should not assume, but we should read. See, I just made a mistake. I thought that the auditor was able to identify, but it was not the auditor, but it was the chief accountant who identified the fraud. That also after the audit and the chief accountant says that auditor had conducted the audit in an unfocused and haphazard manner. See, the blame is on the chartered accountant. The blame is on the article assistant. So later on, maybe there could be a forensic audit also. So nowadays, when is the forensic audit happening? So if they find that there is any fraud and the audit was not able to detect, then the forensic audit happens, and the forensic auditor must have reported that the auditor has not conducted the audit as per the standards on auditing. Soon another scandal also follows. So what happens is the income tax department did a search, or maybe collected some documents from ABC Bank. 133(6), 133 subsection 6, by which the income tax department can call for any information with respect to that SSE or any other connected SSE. Have you heard about this section, please? It is the power of the income tax department to call for any information from any SSE in relation to it or any other SSE. So it must have collected any information about the 15 CB and all. So their income tax department also has found that 15 CB was issued by the chartered accountant. And there was list of passengers, copy of passports, and invoice raised by the foreign party. There were all documents in place. See, the case study is mentioning that. On inquiring from the passengers and verifying their passports, that they did not travel abroad only. So maybe what that B Limited has done, which was more into tourism, is they have remitted some funds outside India, maybe could to Maldives, Sri Lanka, or maybe US, UK, China, whatever the country is, and they have given documents to their auditor that we need to issue form 15 CB for foreign travel and all. They have also given the date of travel, invoice, and all, the passport copies. But the passport copies, when they were verified, showed that they did not travel to the foreign countries only. So how is that possible? Can you please check? How is that? So with the PNR number, you can see sometime whether the PNR number was valid or not. If you go on checking the airlines website, or maybe with the help of visa number and all. So countries where the visas are available on arrival, they have online visa tracking system and all. So maybe with those kind of strong audit practices we can identify, but at the same time sometimes we are not able to do all this kind of strong, or maybe we think that the whatever the documents provided by the client are also not first and all. So maybe if someone has heard about Satyam scam, where the fraud fixed fixed deposits receipt were also first by the client, and the auditors were into trouble. And even the income tax department must have written letters to send notices to those passengers, and the passengers have denied such kind of transaction with B Limited. The B Limited is the subsidiary, yes. Now what the department has done is, department has opened the books of account and also alleged FEMA violations. And even the chartered accountant is in trouble now. And the chartered accountant had issued 150 certificates, by virtue of which the B Limited had remitted 40 crores. Now let's move on to the story, another part of the story. Now what does the chartered accountant say? The chartered accountant says that I had issued form 15 CB based on the documents given by the client, and also I had verified the KYC of the party, of the foreign party, because the first line of the form 15 CB says that we have verified the agreement between the remitter and the remittee. Yes. So the chartered accountant like me must have verified the documents, thinking that all the documents were genuine. And even you can see the chartered accountant made a submission that he was not the statutory auditor, hence he did not examine the books of account or did any due diligence of his business activities. And what was the Form 15CV certificate fees? That was 4,000 per certificate, and 150 certificates means 6 lakhs. And fee was also collected in cash, part of the fees. So now there is another thing. Now this A Limited also wants to conduct secretarial audit. I do not know why this secretarial audit is coming in between, but just to keep confused, just to make our students confused, and not confused only, but in practical world, when problems come up, problems do not come up only in one area. Problems come up in 10 areas. So it talks about the applicability of a secretarial audit, though it must not be connected to the fraud. But now A Limited has also started thinking about the secretarial audit. Yes. So company says that the paid up share capital and turnover and outstanding loans is this much, and this is for which? A Limited, and fraud had happened in its subsidiary, correct? Yes. Mega is listening. So now the next part of the story is A Limited, the holding company, has decided to appoint Mr. Anurag as Chief Internal Auditor. Anyone Anurag from our participant to lead the internal audit function for the company? Of the company, not of B Limited. And the CEO of the company has requested the HR head to define the reporting structure of Chief Internal Auditor. See, the catch is who should design this reporting structure, the HR or the audit committee?
Audit committee should define, design.
So, see, all those factual things were the background of the case study, but now when you are inside our technical thing, we should be able to line up, we should be able to link those kind of these things with our books, with our provisions. Yes. I did not read this case study before coming on this session. I'm being very transparent, but I was able to correlate this because the moment I read this line, I thought something is wrong, and I remembered Section 177 of the Companies Act. And I haven't seen any questions also. Yes, and I think there must be some question relating to Section 177 also. Guys, are you with me? I'm putting a lot of time on reading the question so that you also put time on reading the questions, and so that you be able to recall the answers.
Yes, sir. It's really useful, sir. This is what is really needed in the exam actually.
Yes.
So, unless otherwise we study the entire case laws, we cannot able to answer the crux of the question.
Absolutely. I can see few students are not responding, or I do not know whether they are listening or not. So the CEO of the company is also skeptical regarding the provisions of the Companies Act with respect to the constitution of audit committee. Oh, now the CEO is also coming into the picture. Earlier, the chief accountant was had committed the fraud. That also of the subsidiary company. Now the CEO is thinking that the audit committee is also not properly constituted and all. Yes. and the CEO has discussed to you that if there's any wrong thing, then if there's any non-compliance, please help us rectify. Yes. And now, since we are chartered accountant, we told that any senior member of the company having expertise of can be appointed as chairperson of the audit committee. See, we have given a wrong advice engineer. What we have told is any senior person, senior member of the company. Can any senior member of the company be appointed as the chairperson of the audit committee, guys? My friends, what do you say?
What is it, sir?
Can any senior member of the company, just he or she is having accounting and financial management knowledge, be appointed as chairperson of the audit committee? No. So this is wrong advice. Yes, wrongly quoted. So now what? Abhi, now the case study has started talking about P limited. Yes, that is why I told you that it is very important to create diagrams and write over this question paper so that you are able to correlate the flow of things happening in the case study. So now P limited, it is talking about P limited, not talking about A limited and B limited. So what was the transaction with P limited? P limited was having two divisions, commercial real estate division and residential real estate division managed by manager 1 and 2, and P limited had sold a building to company A limited, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the vendor of P limited is Q limited. And that vendor is also specializing in metals that was not given to us earlier. And now the case study is talking about P limited investment strategy into an electronic data interchange system. So P limited is thinking about implementing one data system so that it will be able to place orders with major suppliers electronically. Yes, maybe it could be adding in the SAP or maybe the any kind of ERP which it is using. So currently, what P Limited is doing is P Limited puts up the postal emails or calls the company suppliers, which is not that very efficient. Let's move on forward. Yes. So the Q Limited, which is the supplier to P Limited, is a company which started in 1991 and is a key player in the metal supply sector, and it has been providing goods to a lot of industries and 12 different sectors. So these sectors are different kind of sectors which have been mentioned here. And Q Limited is also a very expert player in various fields. And Q Limited, the supplier of P Limited, has a lot of respected customers, including P Limited. And what is Q Limited doing? Their customer-centric approach has been very pivotal, and they are maintaining good relationship with their customers. That is how they are being able to market their products in different industries. Yes, and Q Limited has a lot of experts on its payroll. You can see on this paragraph. And these experts not only understand but they advise and assist the customers in selecting the best raw materials and all also. So again, Q Limited has also two main divisions, division G and F. G is into industrial and commercial industrial needs, and See, sometimes a few information are not relevant also, yes. Like this information, I feel that it is repeated again from the top. So we should apply our mind what information is more relevant or not. Otherwise, if we keep on spending time on the repeated information, then our time also gets reduced. So now each division works as an investment center separately. Which division it is talking about? It is talking about the division of Q, division G, and division H. And each division is being added by a divisional manager, and the salary is 7,20,000 per annum with the additional bonus and all. And you can see divisional manager have been given some targets. So that bonus is depend on the completion of target. So there is some formula for calculating the bonus and all. So let's not go into it. And during the financial year 24-25, certain data has been given that investment was so and so, and which resulted invested 13.6 million, that is 1 crore 36 lakhs in new equipment, and which increased the productivity by 10% per annum. And the other manager of division F did not make any investment, even though the computer system required the updation. And division F manager also delayed the payment of its suppliers due to limited cash and bank balance. So division F did not pay to its vendor also on time, and also did not make investments. So now you can see this newspaper clipping. So what does it say? A Limited expands infrastructure with strategic acquisition of building from B Limited. Had successfully acquired a state-of-art building. State-of-the-art building is very, very important, and you can visualize, yes. It looks like a BSc building for me. I do not know what you are able to visualize, but it's a very good building, yes. And this acquisition is a plan, and this newly acquired building has modern conferences spaces on collaborative workspace and all, which was mentioned in the case study. And A Limited would be, and A Limited was in the business of hospitality industry, yes. So see, the memory is also plays a key role over here. And when I took, I think, more than an hour just to explain the question, yes. I don't mean that we students also have to spend a lot of time in reading the question, but at least I feel 20-25 minutes should be given instead of directly jumping into what is the question is asking about. Yes, if we directly jump into the answers or the questions, then we feel biased. Yes. So when you go to audit, then you do not go to the audit queries, yes, but you go to find the audit queries. So reading the case study meticulously was very, very important. So that's why I put up more time so that you students also feel the importance of reading the case study. See, and you can see the ecosystem given by A Limited, hospitality company, having a subsidiary B Limited into tourism, purchased a building, art of building from P Limited as its supplier, Q Limited, the supplier, had two division F and division G, and two managers, and P Limited having commercial real estate and residential real estate. Yes, so this is the flow chart. Though I was not able to prepare on the screen, maybe I'll learn from next time, and I'll be able to do something which our coaching teachers have been able to do. So this completes our case study, and this is a visual presentation about it. Yeah, thank you very much, Mega. So we have been already 1 hour 20 minutes on this case study. Now I think reading the case studies was much more important. Now let's focus on the questions. But before focusing on the questions, I would like to take a mental break of 5 minutes so that our students can also take a refreshment break and then be back in the next 5 minutes. And I forgot to mention one thing in the very beginning, but our students have been making notes. Yes, while I was explaining the case study, I think hope you were able to make the notes also.
Yes, sir. I'm noting down each important point in my notebook.
Very good, very good. So let's take a break of 4 minutes. We are 7:56 now, and let's be back at 8 o'clock. Yes, yes. Break starts. Thank you. The ICAI has also given us the financial performance, the balance sheet, and the PL snapshot of Division F and Division G also. Of which company? Of the company Q. Yes. So maybe after taking the break, it's my responsibility to share the which we discussed in the case study. Just putting a brief. So there were companies A Limited and B Limited. A Limited into hospitality business and B Limited more into tourism business. And B Limited is the subsidiary of A Limited. And A Limited purchased a building, a new building from P Limited. And P Limited is a well-known construction company having two divisions: commercial real estate and residential real estate. And manager one and manager two managing the property. And with the purchase of building, so maybe there would be a greater collaboration and synergy between A Limited and B Limited. And P Limited is also a well-known player having modern facilities and all. And P Limited has a major supplier, that is Q Limited. And Q Limited materials, raw materials are very, very high quality and important for the construction industry. And now there was a catch in the case study that A Limited, which was the hospitality company which has purchased the building, there was a cashier who has committed fraud by absconding with the company's fund, and the auditor was not able to identify it, and the chief accountant was able to identify it post audit. And at the same time, the income tax must have issued 133(6) notice to the B Limited, to the banker of B Limited, and got to know that B Limited had remitted around funds of 40 crores, and there were some FEMA violations also, and the chartered accountant was also found to be guilty and not due diligent. Yes. And so A Limited had fraud being conducted by its cashier, and B Limited was identified by income tax department having a fraudulent foreign remittance of 40 CR, where the passengers had not traveled, and the passports were also first and all. Yes. And A Limited also wants to know about its applicability for secretarial audit, and hence the financial parameters as required in the section 204 of the Companies Act have been mentioned in the case study. And A Limited also wants to appoint chief internal auditor, and the HR has been given to understand the reporting structure of the chief internal auditor. That is totally wrong. And the CEO and me as a chartered accountant also has told that any senior member can be appointed as a chairperson of the audit committee. That is also absolutely wrong. Chairperson of the audit committee has to be a board of director first, and section 177 also has some guidelines on it. And the Q Limited and the P Limited, who is a pioneer in the commercial and residential real estate, wants to have its supply chain system automatic. And Q Limited, which is the major supplier of P Limited, also has a good clientele and started in 1991, and a lot of experts on that. And Q Limited has two divisions, Division F and Division G, and Division F and G being managed by two different managers. One manager had invested some money and some investments and some productivity also being achieved, but other manager did not make any investment, also delayed the vendor payment and all. So this was all about case study. So can anyone mention how many case studies coming in exams?
Sir, 5, sir. Totally 5. Out of 5, we have to answer 4.
4. Yes. So maybe each case study carrying 25 marks. Yes.
Yes, sir. Each case study will carry 25 marks, and the 5 MCQ will be there in each case study, which means that the 4 into 5, 40 marks will be there for MCQ alone. Remaining descriptive questions.
See, I'm just moving out of the case study. Okay. So would you like to score 60, 65 attempting 80, 85 marks, or would you like to score 40, 45 attempting 100 marks?
Sir, we have to attempt 100%, then we can score more than 60.
But my philosophy is different, that if we attempt very well 60, 80, 85 and then get 60, 65, that is better rather than attempting 100 and getting 40, 45.
Yes, sir, that's true, sir. Whatever we well known the answer, we got right first.
Yes. And there is always a tricky question in any CA question paper that is very well known to everyone, apart from the optional question.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I'll just show you some maths, okay, which I followed during my CA exams. And that was explained by a very, very senior teacher of cost and management accounting. If anyone knows the name, he is Mr. Alok Chakrabarti. So, ऐसा नहीं है कि my friend told me and that's why I followed this concept. So let me share that concept, and if you like it, then maybe I would not say that this is a mandatory, but yes, I like the concept, and maybe few of you would also like that concept. Just give me a minute. I'm not.
Yes, sir. Please share with us, sir. Each and every thought is very, very useful.
Able to see the Excel window?
No,
No,
sir.
not yet, sir.
Now?
No.
Hopefully now, yes.
Now
Yes.
is there visible, sir?
So you told me that total questions are of 125 marks. 25 into 5. Yes?
Yes, sir. Actually, 5 independent case laws will be there. Case study 5 independently. Out of 5, we got to answer 4. Any 4 out of.
Understood. So 525 into 1 is optional, yes, need not be attempted.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
It's now 5 minus 1. Sorry. Oh, marks is 0. Sorry, my bad. And say suppose attempted 3, or maybe say 3.5. Okay. Because each and every case study could have 1 or 2 questions which we are not able to attempt. So that should not be a discouragement. Yes. So maybe you are attempting at 87.5, and what is the total minutes which you get in this paper? For other paper it's 3 hours, but for this paper it is 4 hours. Yes.
Yes, sir. 4 hours, sir.
4 into 60 is 240, and per minute, per mark per minute is how much? 240 divided by 87.5 is 2.7, and per case study you have to give 25 into this 68 minutes, correct? If you are attempting only so I suggest your 40%, your 50% of your time should be spent in reading case study, analyzing, and correlating with other subjects. Hope I am making sense. Yes, if I am wrong somewhere in maths, then please let me know.
This is absolutely fine, sir.
Yes. So I have given you the time breakup also. What should be given in for each case study? 68 minutes, maybe let's say only 60, 65 and then approx 30 minutes should be given for reading, not only reading but analyzing and correlating also, which we have done entirely now. I don't think now we have to spend much time on the case study, yes, because the answers are pretty simple. So the understanding the case study was very, very tough task. Correct?
Yes, sir.
I think in cost management accounting, you have heard about a rule called Pareto rule, yes?
Yes, sir. Pareto 80-20.
Yes, spend your 80% of your prime time so that 80% of the work gets completed. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So the financial performance P Limited of Q Limited is given here. So now let's see what are the MCQs. Yes, which of the following statements accurately characterize the situation of fraud committed by?
We can't see the question paper.
Oh, sorry. Now I need to stop the Excel then. So any feedback on the these calculations which I showed, which I am showing you on the screen?
It's really useful and helpful, sir, the analyze. Also, you told us first we have to concentrate. Even 85 mark attending, we can get more than 60 mark. That's a very nice strategy on that as well.
Yes. So I would not like to go much into the answers in depth because this is a multidisciplinary and uh, and it's a mix and match from all the subjects. Correct?
Yes, sir. It will be mixture of all the five
Yes.
subject.
So it is asking about clause 7 and the skepticism and all about the fraud conducted by the cashier and the subsequent and the auditor's inability to find out the fraud, to detect the fraud. So the board of directors of A Limited appointed you to analyze the business of the organization and advise whether they are contravening the provision of section 204 of the Companies Act or not. So I'm not going into those technical stuff also. Basically, it's a mechanical threshold. Yes, but
Yes, sir. For secretarial audit, there is a need for that if it is a more than 250 crore turnover, 50 crore loan outstanding, and the listed company also is needed for secretarial audit.
correct. And in secretarial audit, irrespective of in listed entity, irrespective of the threshold, this secretarial audit is required. So
Yes,
we talk
sir.
about this chairperson of the audit committee. Yes. So what happens
Yes,
is
sir.
when you are reading and analyzing the case study very carefully, the questions which we discussed, these questions were already discussed as a part of the case study, correct? So you will not
Yes,
find very difficulty when you come to the questions. So you'll feel that, oh, these all things I just remembered, I just visualized in mind, and you'll get a comfort. Yes. So
yes, sir.
everything.
I even noted the main point. The paid up capital is 45 crore and the turnover is 170 crore. And the borrowing is 120 crores. I even noted. So borrowing is more than 50 crores, then the secretarial audit is applicable in this case.
Yes. So So there is a GST liability talking about the chargeability of GST.
Yeah, they purchased the building along with the furnitures.
So descriptive questions. Now we talked about that HR defining the reporting structure of CIA. Yes, that was absolutely ridiculous. And our ICAI, our mother institute, has asked us about writing the requirements, the ethical implications of chartered accountant without proper verification and due diligence. So he could be professionally conducting, and now the ROI needs to be calculated. That's a simple thing, and discuss how the strategic acquisition of a state of art building from P Limited will provide A Limited. So we have to write about how those that acquisition. So that acquisition will help us to will help the customers to get more better rooms and a lot of modern facilities and all. So the answers, the keywords which were used in the case study, the modern facilities and all, that has to come in our answer. And we have to use some good language so that it should feel that the answers are coming from a good chartered accountant. So before becoming a chartered accountant, our students should start feeling that he or she is already a chartered accountant, so that he or she writes the good answers on the paper and gets good marks to qualify the examinations. And as you can see on the ICAI material itself, that though it's MCQ question, you need to do some rough calculations, maybe on a question paper, or there could be some answer sheet given to you. And we should not hurry up, but we should do detailed calculations and write about it. And the most important part on case study, which I also might have done a mistake, is we should not look at the much non-relevant section. Yes, they had written a lot of things about the qualities of A limited, B limited, P limited, Q limited. Yes, so they could not have been much important. So that we should make a conscious choice. And some questions in the case studies are such that they do not require much reading of case studies also. So I've tried to give a time frame on which case study has to be studied. And answers written should be very, very well. So we should not write the non-relevant things in the answer. We should be very able to understand what is the question asking us about. Yes. Otherwise, maybe question is asking about something and we are writing about any other thing, and we feel that when we are out of the examination hall, we should be getting good marks. But later on, when we look at the mark sheet on the screen, we feel that ICAI had cheated us. But it is not ICAI who had cheated us, but it is ourselves that who did not read the questions properly and put up the answers very carelessly. So anything on case study number 14, any questions or any? So basically it's about strategy, yes, strategy about maintaining your mind, maintaining your peace while writing the papers. How many of you are cricket lovers and play cricket? So when you play cricket, then it is more important that how you strike the ball with a bat, yes. So to strike the ball, you have to carefully look at the ball coming from the bowler. So in the same similar fashion, the ICI is putting up balls, and our pen with which we are writing is our bat. So when there is a combination or a timing or the position matters between bat and ball, then we are able to give good delivery, good boundaries. Correct? So we should not be caught up with the googlies, and we should not run out at the cutout.
Yes, sir. Rightly said, sir. I don't like cricket, but I am a kabaddi player.
Yes. So let me do one thing. We are 1 hour. Just give me a moment, okay? So maybe if Deepak ji is there, can with the permission of ICAI team, can I take through some practical aspects of the hospitality industry?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Study number 15. I was not aware that I would not be able to take 2 case studies, and I focused more on explaining the case study, how to read the case study. That is not only important for the hospitality industry, but for overall case studies. So maybe if I can take through some practical aspects.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
that would not directly help in the case study, but that would help our students when they qualify as chartered accountants to know what kind of uh, industry is expecting from us and what kind of things can be done up in the practice.
Sir, you can surely share your practical experience with our students, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. So, can I know one or two tips and tracks from our students what they have been doing for case studies, and what do you feel who drafts these case studies which are coming up in the question paper? Maybe over to Geeta or Mega, if you can come on the audio and if you can tell who is drafting these case studies and how are these case studies being drafted.
Sir, actually we don't know about this.
Okay. So let me tell, maybe Deepakji calls a few chartered accountants and tells that we need some case studies to be given to be hosted on our website, and maybe out of those case studies, a few case studies coming up in the exam. So maybe Deepakji calling me up in a fine day and telling me that Anshul, please send us two case studies. So what do I do is maybe I must have read some headlines in the newspaper, yes, and then I remember that, and then I read that newspaper again, and then I relate to my professional journey, to my clients expectation and the clients professional engagements, and then I draft a case study and then send to ICAI. Maybe 50 chartered accountants sending 50 case studies or 100 case studies to ICAI, and ICAI out of those case studies selects those case studies and puts on the website, and maybe out of those case studies again some questions coming up in the examinations. I'm not sure whether out of those case studies disseminated on the website only comes from the case studies, but the pattern is almost similar. So the idea was, see, you students have to develop a habit of reading newspapers, yes. So when once you are reading the newspapers, then what happens is you develop a habit of reading the case studies also, because every news headline is a case study, different case study, and it talks about different dimensions. And reading newspapers also help you to correlate uh, the things which you have read about. Like I can say a few headlines going on in the newspaper which are important from our syllabus point of view. There is some tussle in the board of Tata, yes, I think a few must be aware. So uh, a different group of shareholders or management saying different things, and that is totally in relation to our companies act. Maybe there could be a case study from Tata group also. A lot of companies brought out IPO in this Navratra. About 40 odd companies brought out IPOs. LG was one of the successful listings. So LG along with the other companies were coming up in the headline news and all. So maybe there could be some questions coming from the IPO side also. Yes, maybe SEBI ICDR, SEBI LODR and all. So we should be very vigilant. We should keep ourselves very open. We should not be fearful about what ICI would be giving up on the questions. But if you are quite confident and quite strong enough with the preparation, then no one can help you from becoming a chartered accountant. So these are a few words of motivation which I would like to give to students, and maybe for motivating our students, this 10-15 minutes time is not that very good enough. So maybe if given an opportunity, I can take a separate session on that because CA is about mental game. I feel it's a T20 tournament. So if you perform well in the pitch, if the bowler puts ball well during the match, then he or she can help the team win the match.
Seems there is a power cut, sir.
Not a power cut, but I think our office person has put off the light. Just give me a minute, please. but our spirit should be such that whatever be the external barriers, like someone was trying to put off the light for other rooms, but maintaining peace and calm is very, very important, because ICI is always consistently testing the patience of our students also during the examination with the help of different tricky questions. And believe me, in each and every paper there are about 20 to 30 marks of questions which you find very, very tough, and we should not worry about those tough questions and spoil our papers. So now, with the permission of ICAI team and with the permission of our students, so let me take you through the website of stock exchange first. Anyone who has visited bscindia.com or nscindia.com? nscbscindia.com, anyone has visited?
Live not visited, sir.
Sorry?
Sir, live not visited, but normally
No, no, I'm
visited.
talking about the website, not the venue.
No, sir.
Okay. So, hope you are able to see the portal of bscindia.com, yes?
Yes.
See, bscindia.com, if you go and like someone was talking about ITC Hotels Limited, yes? So, let's see the annual reports and the financial results of ITC Hotels Limited. So you just have to go on the right hand side, and there are a lot of options: equity, T+1, derivative, debt company, currency derivative, and all. So we simply just need to select equity T+1 and write the name of the company, ITC Hotels Limited, and then click over here, and then we can see the financial parameters: what is the market capitalization of the ITC Hotels Limited, and what is the free float, and what is the turnover, what is the EPS of the company, what was the 52-week high price, what was the 52-week low price. It is now almost 20% below the 52-week high and all. So see, with this, I don't want to encourage you to come to the stock market, but these things are very, very essential for our professional life being a chartered accountant. That is why I am taking you through this website. And many of us, even when I was doing articleship, I was not aware about this BSc websites and SC websites until unless my principal told about it. So let me take you through the annual report. So you can see the financials tab over here. Yes. So if you click on the annual reports, you go to the annual reports. So you must be wondering why is the only annual report of 2025 available in the ITC Hotels Limited, because ITC Hotels just got listed this year only in January 2025. Hence, the annual reports of 2024 and prior years are not available. But if even if you want to go and see these 24, 23, 22 figures, their figures are available in the DRHP and the RHP, which again I'll tell you in a few minutes. DRHP is draft red airing prospectus. So any company before listing has to file those documents with the SEBI, so that their listing is approved and the investors are not aware about the entire happening and all. So see, yes, when you go to their annual report, so this is the notice for AGM. See, students, geographic visual presentation of the financial parameters is very, very important. When we see such kind of page, graphical page, then our minds work very well. Yes, that is why when we are reading the case studies, we need to write and make it a visual presentation kind of thing very quickly, so that when we are writing the answers, then we remember it. See, you can see the contents of the annual report, director's report, report on corporate governance, MDA, management discussion and analysis, secretarial audit report. CEO and CFO has to give a compliance certificate as per the requirements of SEBI LODR. Standalone financial statements are available that consist of balance sheet, profit and loss, changes in equity, SOKI, statement of cash flows, notes the financial statements, and our finally the audit report, that is as per SA 700. And the financial information, silent features of subsidiaries, joint ventures and associates as per AOC 1 are also available. And finally the consolidated financial statements, this also has the same set of,
So we can't see the report.
sorry,
We can't see the report, whichever you are discussing.
we are not able to report.
Yeah.
Just a moment, I think another window got opened. Now are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I was talking about these contents of the annual report, yes. And the graphical presentation, I was talking about this kind of thing. So I may not be able to take you through the entire annual report of IDC hotels, and it is not relevant also, but I would like to take you through a few important things so that it gives you a brief idea that how to read the financial statements or what is to be looked into annual report. Yes. So they have written about the brands, Welcome Hotel, Fortune brands, and all. They have talked about the business, what's their expansion plan, what they have done throughout the year, what was different during the year. Yes. So this is called management discussion and analysis report. So during the year, they invested in a lot of many companies. They have mentioned a brief about that. They have talked about internal financial control. They have talked about human resource management, human resource development. That is very important. That is important for any company, any organization nowadays. They have talked about how they have maintained their quality, how they have managed their treasury operations. They have talked about the changes in directors, changes in the auditors. They have talked about the ESOP scheme, related party transactions. They have talked about forward-looking statements, and they have finally concluded their director's report. So you can see the annual report, secretarial audit report also of any listed company like this, and you can see what kind of laws were applicable to them. SEBI, Depositories Act, FEMA. Delisting was not applicable since delisting was not happening, did not happen. Buyback was not applicable since there was no buyback during the financial year 24-25. Yes, AOC 2 is about related party, reference section 188 of the Companies Act. So they have talked about how energy has been converged at ITC Hotels Limited. They have talked about sustainability steps, technology absorption. They have talked about key financial ratios. This is required as per the regulations of SEBI LODR. See, now let's come to the balance sheet. So what is the most important element in their asset side of the balance sheet? As we can see, the total asset size is of 12 and a half thousand crores, and 5,600 is coming from the property, plant and equipment. This means they have heavily invested in their properties. Yes, and they have a few in as well. So that could be their subsidy investments in the form of subsidiary, joint ventures, associates, and they have a huge amount of cash as well, about 1,500 CR. So they had issued fresh capital during the year. That is how their share capital has increased. You can see that they don't have much of assets on lease. This shows that a lot of their majority of the assets are on ownership. Hope you are able to see now. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
see, looking at the standalone statement of profit and loss, we come to know that the finance cost is very, very nominal, just 11 crores throughout the year. And you can see that the previous year figures were only for about 8 months, because earlier, prior to 28th July, it was a part of ITC Limited, then it got demerged. And you can see food and beverage consumption is a major part of the cost of a hospitality company. Like in manufacturing entity, you see that it is cost of goods sold. Employee benefit is also constituting a major component of the P&L side. Depreciation constitutes about 10% of the P&L, 10% of the expense, because a lot of properties they have to provide depreciation as per Schedule 2 to the Companies Act. Yes, the EPS has been increased. There is a difference between basic and diluted EPS. This shows that there are some potential convertible equity shares. See, reading the cash flow is very important. Operationally, they had a cash flow of 929 crores. This shows that they have very, very sound operations. They have heavily invested more than 200 CRs in 200 crores in property, plant and equipment. They have purchased about 1,500 crore investment during the year. They have put up 1,500 crore in the bank FD. So that is how they have deployed their cash flows from operating activities into investing activities. Even if we see the cash flow from financing activities, they have, though there was an increase in share capital, there is nothing coming from inflow of share capital, because the shareholders of ITC hotels were ITC Limited were issued shares of this company when it got demerged. Hence, there was no any cash flow. See, there was a scheme of demerger, and there was some cash flow pursuant to that scheme. So they have referred to that scheme in note number 29.1 and explained about it. So in days one, you must have learned that each and every important item of the balance sheet or the financial statement has to be cross-referred and be explained. Yes. So since this was one of the activities that require explanation, they have done that. So they have talked about the demerger scheme of arrangement, demerged undertaking, hotel business of ITC Limited. The company shares being listed on NSE, BSE. They have talked about the estimated useful life of PP. Schedule 2 says that if you do not follow and if you want to make a deviation from the useful life, then you have to disclose the reason behind that and the life which you have adopted. See, they have huge amount of capex in the buildings, huge amount in land as well, huge amount in plant and equipment as well. capital work in progress in the form of business and commercial rights, right of use assets in the form of land and building. See, these were all the requirements pursuant to the MCA notification that was notified on 24th of March 2021. That 45-page notification is very, very important. I would put in the chat box. I would request our students to go through that MCA notification, which talked about additional, sorry, it's 24th March 2021, which talked about additional disclosures required in accordance with Schedule 3 of the Companies Act. So you can see the name of the subsidiaries, associates, because Schedule 3 requires that the name should be disclosed along with the face value, and it should be mentioned whether it is fully paid up and all. So you can see it as an associate International Travel House Limited. So in the case study we had seen A Limited and B Limited. B Limited into tourism business, so travel and tourism. So this could be one of the example here. They have some joint ventures as well. They have separately disclosed the investment in equity shares and preference shares. These all things are, I think, read by you all and also taught in the study materials and in the respective subjects. But once you see with your eyes in the practical world happening, then you will be able to get more comfort and you will be able to remember things for more longer time. Yes. So the inventory for ITC hotels is food and beverage and the stores and the operating supplies. They have also invested a few of their uh, cash funds in the form of mutual funds, and they have classified as current investment. Schedule 3 says that if any asset is expected to be realized within its operating cycle, then it needs to be classified as current investment. So and they could be deployment for a short term purpose only. So maybe the auditors have verified and vouched over that. So you can see that they have some certain secured trade receivables as well. The aging of the trade receivables are being given. So pursuant to the scheme, they had issued some certain share capital to the shareholders of ITC Limited, which has been shown here. You can see shareholders holding more than 5% of the equity shares in the company, and ITC Limited is the major shareholder. And even LIC, I did not know that LIC was holding about 9% in stake in ITC hotels. So they have some deferred revenue. What is this deferred revenue in the hospitality industry? Like say suppose a customer walks in and books an event for the month of June 2026 right now itself. So the customer is required to pay certain advance, yes. So since it is pertaining to other year, then it comes under deferred revenue. The disclosures, very important disclosures pursuant to MSME are also given. And this also has a linkage with the reporting and tax audit in clause 22. You can see we talked about revenue from operations. Yes, that is why I was taking a lot of time to explain the case study, giving a brief background so that when you see the things visually, then it would be more comfortable. The major part is from rooms, food and beverages, management and operating fees. So what does a big hotel chain do is they also manage the hotels of other owners, yes, by deploying their own brands and manpower and all. So they are earning some management fee as well. They have some revenue from membership fees and all. Other operating income includes spa, laundry, and all. So you can see the salary and wages have around 20% effect of the PNL. So that bifurcation of audit fees as required by Schedule 3 is also given here. A lot of things, these all formats are to be followed by all the companies as per Schedule 3. Repairs expenses has to be bifurcated between this. since the credit card charges, maybe the customers might be swiping up to pay, and that constitutes significant amount of expense, and they have information technology services. They pay a good amount of commission to their agents, closed it separately. See 29.1, which they had mentioned in the cash flow statement. So they have talked about the Ind AS 103, and they have talked about recording of assets and liabilities at carrying values, allotment of shares, and differential between the fair value of shares issued and the book value of assets and liabilities demerged as per requirements of Ind AS 103. They have given the disclosures. CSR was not applicable for them. Contingent liabilities, they have given a brief about the matters that has been going on the courts, for which there would be some potential cash outflows. They have given disclosures about Ind AS 104, employee based payments, segment reporting. Ind AS 108, they have disclosed that no customer contributed for more than 10% of the revenues. So they have given related party transactions. ITC Limited was their holding company. You could see that the shareholding of ITC came below 50%, that was about 40%, and that has been disclosed appropriately. They have disclosed about the given reported the related party transactions with different entities, how they have been managing capital and how they have been managing their risk also has been a part of the financial statements pursuant to the disclosures required by Ind AS 107, 10I, 109. You can see the key audit matters also given by the auditors by as per SA 701. This is not a qualification, this is not an adverse remarks. Yes, so they have highlighted about the scheme of amalgamation. They have highlighted about the accounting treatment given in the financial statements. They have auditors have reported that the pending litigations have been disclosed in the financial statements. You can see the Caro report. Yes. So now one thing, I just quickly took through discouraged that Anshul sir has given a lot of homework for us, but it's very simple. So once you analyze 5 or 10 annual reports, once you spend maybe 1 or 2 hours of time in every annual report, then you find it that it's very comfortable to read any annual report within a period of 1 or 2 hours. Yes, just download, just look at different annual reports from different sectors, maybe from airlines. You can see Indigo, from hotels you can see Hotel Lila, from ITC for manufacturing you can see some Eveready Industries, you can see big brands, you can see some Reliance Industries annual report and all in a free time, in a leisure time when you are traveling, maybe between your office and your home. Don't spend a lot of time rather your focus will be more on the syllabus side, but while reading these annual reports, while going through these annual reports, you should be able to focus, you should be able to relate with the practical things which you have studied during a syllabus. Yes, this gives a additional comfort, this gives a photogenic memory, and when you are writing in the exams, that helps a lot. Any questions on the from students on how to read the annual reports, how to get the annual reports, or what is the practical problem or what is the psychological problem which you face? So that if you can put up, I can maybe share my some limited understanding and insights.
So this annual report is of so many pages. How to handle that? Means
So
how
how
to
many
read
minutes we
that?
took it right now? Hello,
So pardon? I can't understand. Repeat
I'm
please.
asking you. You asked about the time, yes, and about the large contents of the annual report, yes, correct. Yeah, I'll show you about the red herring document also DRHP. Yeah, Gita, if I'm correct, your question is how to go through the entire document. Yes.
Yes, sir. It's so many pages. After becoming
Yeah.
CA, how to handle it? How
See, that is
to
why
use
how I
this?
told you. Once you go through 5 or 10 annual reports and you spend 1 or 2 hours of time in any annual report, then you'll get that kind of comfort. Yes, you'll get that kind of uh, what? How do I put it? That kind of easiness navigating through these documents.
Okay, sir.
So maybe when you watched a movie for the first time in life, maybe in a movie theater or maybe in a home or maybe in a laptop or a mobile, you must have found a lot of disturbances, yes? Or you were not able to maybe concentrate for the entire 3 hours or 2.5 hours, yes?
Sir.
Sorry? But nowadays, who is used to watching movies or who is used to watching web series, they do it for a lot of many hours, yes, without any distraction and all. So you have to make a habit. So you have to make yourself think that you are a chartered accountant early, uh, now only, yes, and just pick one annual report from any sector, yes, and just go through it. Go through the financials, go through the balance sheet PL, and then try to correlate with what you have studied in financial reporting, what were your audit observations. Try to read the carvo and all. So if you start correlating and if you give your time, initial time in 5 or 10 annual reports, then you'll find that from the 11th or 12th annual report, you'll find that this is a home ground for me. Understood,
Yes,
Gita?
sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So don't make it heavy. Only just go through it. So something is better than nothing. Yes. So maybe if you learn two things from this annual report, then you'll learn three things from another annual report. Yes. So the power of compounding is very strong. So that is how you will be able to develop yourself. So every expert was a beginner at any some point of time. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So now you are in CA finals. Maybe 4 years, 5 years down the line, CA foundation was also very tough.
No,
Correct.
sir.
So
I have started after 15 years. It's very difficult for me.
okay, where are you from, Gita?
Yeah, I am at present in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
In past time in from Mumbai.
So earlier you were in Bombay.
Yeah, I
How
have
many
done my articleship from Bombay only.
how many years you were in Bombay?
Marriage, I am here.
Okay. So before marriage you were in Bombay, yes. So maybe I'm also based out of Bombay, so I don't find any issues getting into the local train and coming out of the local train, and I maybe we enjoy those kind of Bombay kind of traffic. But maybe for Mega, who is based out of the southern region of the country, if she comes for the first time to Bombay, she would find very difficult, correct? But once she lives in Bombay for the next 3 months, 4 months, and does local Bombay local every day, then after 3 months she will also be used to it, correct?
Yes, sir.
So Gita, you did not worry, just start, give a start, and do not focus more on problems, but focus more on what you have learnt in your syllabus, what you have done in your articleship period. So that will help you to build confidence and develop more and more.
Yes, sir. Thank you to ICI.
Yes,
They
thanks
have
to
these
a
live
very
classes are very helpful to us.
yes. So let me take through you through the prospectus of the IPO companies also. Okay. So let me share my new window on it. Are you able to see my screen, please? Hello.
Yes, sir. Visible now, sir.
Yes. See, so who is the market regulator of India stock market? That is SEBI, yes, Securities and Exchange Board of India. So we are navigating to the website of sebi.gov.in. And I was always recommend our students or fellow chartered accountants that if you have to read something, then always go through the primary source. Don't go to Google, don't go to Copilot, don't go to ChatGPT, which a lot of students do that. See, this is the website of SEBI. Welcome to the website of SEBI, yes. So you can see the tab called filings, correct?
Yes, sir.
Filings. Just give me a affirmation so that I move ahead accordingly. So you can see public issues, yes.
Sir.
So this draft offer documents filed with SEBI, they are the DRSPs. RHPs are the red herring prospectus just before the prospectus, and these final offer documents are with the prospectus. So let us go through these final offer documents first. So you can see, I think on the newspaper, the entire front page and the second page was about Canada, HSBC, LG Electronics, Tata Capital, which got listed last week. It's got another company, WeWork India, which got listed last week. A lot of companies you can see which got listed have filed their prospectus. Yes, there is no much difference between DRHP, RHP, and prospectus. The change is the incremental updates that have been to the company and certain requirements, certain price band, and all that has to be disclosed further and further. So let's go through the prospectus of LG. Are you able to see the prospectus of LG Electronics?
No, sir.
Can you please confirm?
No, sir. Not it.
Not yet. Are you able to see now?
No, sir.
Now, yes.
Sir.
See, so this is the first page, cover page of the prospectus document. So it talks about what is the issue size. So there could be two kind of issue. One is offer for sale. One is fresh issue. What was the weighted average cost of acquisition? Again, to explain the prospectus document would again require a series of session. But just let me take you through some important things so that you can get that comfort to open a RHP or prospectus and then do some study. Yes. See, on page 3, you can see this table of contents. So basically, these are the table of contents. Yes. So let me just quickly put about the table of contents. So first thing is definition. Like when you go through Companies Act, then they have a set of definitions. Yes, in section 2. So similarly, the prospectus has a section of definitions. So if you click here, then it goes to the definition section. This is a clickable link kind of thing, you can say. So summary of the offer document is given here. Some forward-looking statements are given here in a general section along with the market data, industrial, financial data. So let us see once what were given. So they have given about the electronics market, industry and market data, notice to prospective investors in the US. They have given forward-looking statement that we are dependent on LG Electronics, our promoters. They have talked about royalty payments being made to LG, the holding company. The top 5 suppliers and contributed so and so percentage of their supplies. They have an agreement with framework agreement for the group transactions, and also that is the important things which they have highlighted over here. They have said that we have certain contingent liabilities which, if materialized, may adversely affect our financial condition. So in listing, in the process of listing, everything has to be highlighted, whether it is bad or whether it is good for the company. So they have also mentioned that our significant revenue, 78.7337% of revenue are from the continuing operations from home appliances and air solution division. So from AC and the home appliances. So their market share across selected products has decreased. They have mentioned that, and if it continues to decrease, it could have an adverse impact. And they have given some risk factors also. So the risk factors were the second part of the second section of the document. You can see risk factors over here. So these are the definitions. Risk factors are categorized into two parts. One is the internal risk and the external risk. So every company is exposed to different kind of risk. Yes, so they have to highlight every kind of risk and give a brief explanation. I'm not taking you through the entire risk section, but maybe top 10 risk internal and top 10 external risk I would definitely like to take. So the number one risk is they are dependent on LG Electronics. Yes, so LG Electronics is an outside company, outside India company, and hence they say that we are totally dependent on that company. And we cannot assure you that LG Electronics will not increase the rate of royalty. So they have said that our royalty might also have been increased in the due course. So whatever are the possible risk, everything has to be disclosed. Yes, so that our investors are aware. So the royalty payments are subject to regulatory scrutiny or action. And as on the date of this prospectus, we have a contingent liability of 3,153 million in respect of royalty payments to our promoter. There is no assurance that such observations will not be raised by the tax authorities in the future period as well, which can have an adverse impact on our operations. So they have mentioned that it is possible that our promoter from outside India may engage in the same line of activity or business as our company is doing, which can result in conflict of interest. So the risk factor, internal risk factors, yes, the promoter doing anything in the LG is their internal. So there could be increase in raw materials that could affect their business operations. They are heavily reliant on their top 5 suppliers and top 10 suppliers, which can affect their business due to geographical uncertainties, shortage of supplier misconduct, everything. So they have talked about framework agreement with their holding company, which is very, very material and adversely affect our business reputation if anything goes wrong. We have contingent liabilities, which are very materially important. So 78% of the revenue was derived from home appliance and air solution division, which if the market goes down, then the revenue also goes down. Yes, so a lot of internal risk factors. So a company is supposed to, you can read from here, and they give a brief explanation and the rationale also behind that. So the statutory auditors had given certain unfavorable remarks, maybe some emphasis of matter that has also been highlighted over here for the sake of investors' reference. They have some foreign investment company for US federal income tax purpose. They have highlighted over here. Now comes the external risk. If there is any natural disaster, fire, epidemic that can affect our business, changing regulations can affect their business, which is quite uncertain. Environmental regulations are quite stringent for them since They are in electronics industry. So this is about the factors. So after these factors, in terms of the offer, capital structure, and what is the objects, what are they going to do with the money they are getting from this offer. They talk about how is the offer price derived and all. So objects offer for LG was so in this case, the company would not receive any proceeds from the offer. That means that the already there were some certain shareholders they are selling their stake in the market. So there is no any additional funds coming to the company, but the promoters are maybe diluting their stake. That is called offer for sale. So the existing shareholders making offer for sale. So they have given about how the offer price has been derived. They have given the qualitative factors also. They have given about the quantitative factors also. Industry P ratio, key performance indicators. So for our hospitality industry, key performance indicators is room rent per revenue per room rent, average room revenue. That is very very important. Tax benefits which the company can get have been disclosed, have been reported here, also certified by their chartered accountant, by their auditor. They have talked about their company, how the company grew, and what the company thinks about themselves. About the electronics market in India, they have given a lot of used data. They have given about a brief about the business, pan India distribution, or technology leadership. They have given about the products, their plants. So they have given about the laws applicable to them. They have given about the history of the company, how LG started, what are the restructurings that have happened to till date, the main objects of the company. They have given about the timelines of the events and milestones. They have given a brief about the directors, their senior management. They have given about the role of audit committee, which we were talking on that case study. They have given their organizational structure. They have introduced their directors. They have introduced their promoters now. You must have heard about the CEO of the LG, Global LG, talked about, gave an excellent speech, that too in Hindi. Being a Korean in Hindi, that was viral in the media. They have talked about the dividend policy. Now, finally, the restated financial information. So, whenever there is a financial statement, that is called restated financial information. So, auditors have given examination report, and they have given the figures for the last 3 years and for the stop period. This is called broken period, June, and the comparative numbers as well. I am not taking through the financials. Yes. So main board companies necessarily mandatorily have to prepare their financials as per Ind AS. SME companies might not have been required. A lot of contingent liabilities. So now they have given about other financial information about EBITDA, return on net worth, about the major revenue and all. They have done a variance analysis of their expenses, major expenses, their cash flow analysis. Yes, capitalization statement about their financial indebtedness, or the borrowings of the company. They have talked about their litigations going on. So I think, and every interesting part is you can put a table of contents. So it could be roughly around 600, 700 pages document, but last 200, 150 pages are not relevant for us. They are more from the ASBA point of view and how to apply sales and all. That is not relevant for our academics. So you can click on any page on any topic and go through that. Like say suppose if you want to learn about financial statements, read about restated, you just click here and then you can go to these financial statements. So you can able to see how can be. Just go to sebi.gov.in. Sorry, I was not able to zoom in. I just saw a message now, Mr. Sanjay. But definitely, I would request you to please go through at least one.
Yes, sir. It cannot be zoomable, sir. We can see the only limited see. Even I have downloaded it. I am seeing parallelly, but I could not zoom as well.
You can easily zoom that. That is not an issue. Uh, Maybe we are already at 9:15.
Yes, sir. For that, I have to download it. For the 502 pages are
Yes,
there
yes.
in that report. Download, then we can zoom it.
Correct, absolutely. So now I would like to take feedback from our students on this session, and Mega has asked,
Sir,
sir, can you please tell how you downloaded the ITC annual report? So let me show you once again. So I'm sharing you my screen. So just go to bscindia.com. Like let me do for Leela Hotels. So if you go to corporate announcements, you can see what announcements they are filing on a daily basis, like press release, monitoring agency report. They disclosed, they intimated the financial results last week, half yearly results and all. So to have the annual report, you have to go to annual reports and you have to just click on download. And if the company is not listed in BSE, then you have to go to nscindia.com and you can get reports on a similar fashion. Maybe if I can share my number, I'll just put it on my chat box. If anyone has some query and all, can contact me on WhatsApp or on call. If I'm not able to respond on the same time, I'll definitely give you a call back or respond to your messages within a day. Now I would request Deepak ji, who is also a fellow chartered accountant and has motivated me a lot and supported me a lot backstage.
Sir, thank you for your clear, insightful, and practice-driven explanation of today's case study on hospitality sector. Through your guidance, we are able to appreciate the strategic and regulatory complexities involved in this particular sector. You have shown how to apply knowledge across domains, financial reporting, auditing, taxation, to arrive integrated solution for this specific sector. Your session captured the core purpose of IBS, developing the ability to think holistically, advise strategically, and act professionally in complex and high stake environment. Thank you, sir, once again for taking your time in this busy period and with your deep insights and practical experience. Your session has truly enforced us how future professionals must approach industries like hotel hospitality with responsibility and foresight. Special thanks for sharing practical insight. We are sincerely grateful for your contribution, sir. Students, this is time to put forward your questions, if any.
Sir, really, sir provided lot of insight on that how to approach all these things, and even he opened and showed that the prospectus from the SEBI website. That's really useful, and he shared a lot of his knowledge through how to approach, how to see the questions. See, really helpful and useful for us. Really, thanks to you, sir, and you as well for such a wonderful coordination, sir. Thank you so much.
So,
Sir,
Deepakji, I'll just take 5 minutes. Maybe that could be a separate session. But I would request our students to keep phone away during their exam preparation time. Smartphones kill a lot of our time and it's very distracting. So our students should keep phone away. Yes, so that our mind is very very clear while preparing for exams and we are totally focused. Many of us say that WhatsApp, Instagram helps us to give update and all. We did not follow any WhatsApp or Telegram. Our institute website is very very self-sufficient, and our institute has a rule that like earlier the exams were only 2 times a year, so 6 months whatever came prior to 6 months only were applicable. Yes, I think now it's been 4 months, or I do not know if it's 5 months, that only things which have been made applicable prior to 4 months are applicable now for the students. Yes, so keep away your smartphones and think about, don't complex the things much. If you are very very negative or complicated about any particular topic or a chapter, then you may skip it. Rather focus on the other 10 topics or the 10 chapters of the study of the subject, and give equal time to each and every subject, because each and every subject carries 100 marks. Yes, we do a lot of studies, maybe 4 hours class, 3 hours class, 3.5 hour class, more than 100 classes for financial reporting, but we do not give time for classes like integrated business, case study exams. We do not give time for audit paper and all. We generally students try open the audit book only after they get leave from their articleship time, but rather we should open audit from very day zero of articleship, because day in day out we are doing audits, and everything which we do in the audit of a client is mentioned in the auditing standards. Yes, so I would request our students to think big and to perform well in exams. Do not get demotivated, and always have a mentor in your life, in a professional life, with whom you can talk freely and take advice. And mentor should not be of our age, because we are a friend of mine or a friend of yours is in the same boat. Yes, mentors do help a lot, and not only one mentor, you can have multiple mentors for multiple matters and all. So over this, and just a last request to our students, please create awareness about such ICAI live programs, fantastic live programs. Deepakji, I can see, is in the institute till 9:30. Yes, and coordinating with every chartered accountant and CAs coming up with such good, insightful session. But students attending are very less. So I would request our fellow students to create awareness and tell their friends and colleagues to join more large in numbers, so that ICI is also motivated to do a lot of sessions like this. And
sir,
even is like
here I
this.
want to clarify. Sir, here I want to clarify. Currently, there are more than 100 students are viewing this session on various platforms.
Okay.
Actually, on Zoom, there are less number of students, but there are so many other platforms like a mobile app or YouTube or other portals. Therefore, there are more than 300 students are currently viewing this session live, sir.
Very nice. Very nice.
And sir, thank you. I sincerely thank you for sir, your today's session and your valuable guidance, sir.
Thank you very much, Deepakji. I think the sessions for October are already blocked, but after 15th November, maybe I can be available for for another next round of second session on this particular case study solving.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And to all the students, thank you for being part of today's session and asking such very wonderful questions. Your active participation made the session even better. I encourage you to keep learning and keep practicing. Practice is key to success. Then do practice, practice, and practice. That uh, wishing you all the best for your studies and your exams. Once again, thank you for everyone for making this session a great success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Wish you all the best for exams.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Good night.